The water in the Grand Hall of Atlantis shimmered, not just with the diffused light of the bioluminescent corals, but with an almost palpable energy. An extraordinary quiet had settled over the assembled dignitaries, the Atlantean nobility, and the Zabellian representatives. All eyes were fixed on the approaching figures of Arthur Curry, the king of Atlantis, and Mera, the princess of Zabel. Their love story, forged in conflict and sealed by a shared vision for peace, was about to reach its most profound crescendo. But this was no ordinary royal wedding. There was a current beneath the surface, a whisper among the oldest Atlanteans, hinting at a presence not seen, not felt in eons. As Arthur and Mera stood poised, ready to exchange their vows, a subtle, profound shift rippled through the very fabric of the ocean around them. The water itself seemed to deepen in color, to hum with an ancient, forgotten power. Then they emerged, not from the grand entrance, but from the depths themselves, materializing as if woven from the very currents and light of the abyss. Poseidon, lord of the oceans, his form majestic and radiating an ancient wisdom. Amphitrite, his queen, graceful and serene, embodying the ocean's quiet power. And with them, figures of immense elemental force. Oceanus, the primordial titan of the sea. Tethys, his consort, the mother of rivers. And others, their names whispered in forgotten legends. Beings of such profound antiquity that their very presence was a miracle. These were the sea gods, newly reinstated to their rightful cosmic roles. For countless ages, their influence had waned, their forms dormant or distant, their dominion left to the ebb and flow of nature and the conflicts of mortals. Their return, let alone their appearance at a mortal union, was an event that shook the foundations of the known world, and certainly the very depths of the DC universe. Their arrival was not merely a spectacle, it was a profound declaration. It signified a divine approval, a blessing so potent that it resonated through the very water molecules, echoing in the hearts of every creature present. For Arthur and Mera, it was an affirmation that their love, their alliance, was not just a personal matter, or even just a political one uniting two powerful underwater kingdoms. It was a cosmically significant event. Consider what this truly meant. Arthur, a man who walked between two worlds, surface and sea, had tirelessly worked to bridge ancient divides. Mera, a formidable warrior and leader, had brought the fiercely independent Zabellians into a new era of cooperation with Atlantis. Their marriage was already a powerful symbol of unity, healing old wounds between their peoples. But with the presence of the gods, this union transcended the political. It became an act of divine will, a foundational moment in the renewed order of the oceans. The gods' watchful eyes, full of ancient knowledge and quiet power, bore witness. This was not a passive observation, it was an active endorsement. It meant that Arthur and Mera's reign, their progeny, and the future of the oceans under their combined rule were sanctioned by the very beings who governed the tides, the currents, and the myriad life forms beneath the waves. It was as if the universe itself had exhaled, acknowledging a balance restored, a prophecy fulfilled. This divine blessing was a powerful statement on several levels. Firstly, it elevated Arthur and Mera beyond mere heroes or monarchs. It cemented their place as mythic figures. They weren't just the king and queen of Atlantis and Zabel. They were the chosen champions of the gods, the linchpins of a new sacred pact between the divine and the mortal realms. Their story, now intertwined with the very pantheon of the deep, became an indelible part of the cosmic tapestry of the DC universe. Secondly, it promised an era of unparalleled peace and prosperity for the aquatic kingdoms. With the gods' favor, the ancient rivalries that had plagued Atlantis and Zabel for so long seemed to recede into the distant past. The future, under the watchful eyes of these reawakened deities, looked brighter, more harmonious than ever before. It suggested a coming age where the power of the oceans would be wielded not for conquest, but for cosmic balance and protection. And finally, for Arthur and Mera themselves, it was a moment of profound personal validation. To have their love, their commitment, their shared vision for the future, blessed by the very architects of the sea, must have been an overwhelming experience. It was a recognition of the immense burdens they carried and a promise of divine support as they navigated the complex waters of leadership and love. It transformed their personal joy into a universally significant occasion. The wedding of Arthur and Mera was more than a ceremony. It was a pivot point in history, a moment where the ancient world reconnected with the new, where myths breathed again, and where the enduring power of love and unity was affirmed by the very gods themselves. It was a spectacular reminder that in the DC universe, heroism isn't just about punching villains. It's about forging destinies, mending worlds, and sometimes, with a little divine intervention, laying the groundwork for cosmic harmony. What are your thoughts on this extraordinary moment? Do you think the return of the sea gods signals a new era for Atlantis and the wider DC universe? Share your reflections in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the depths of DC lore, please consider following for more stories that explore the rich tapestry of these incredible worlds.